again. So my name is Professor Kathy Trin, and I am TCC Connect faculty and I teach 3 different disciplines: business, management, and entrepreneurship. So my goal today is simple. I want to give you practical, doable steps so that you can use this week, okay, or even today, to move forward with your financial independence. So here is the agenda. So thank you, Dr. Moore, for already covered the opening word. We already did introduction in the chat, so I can jump right straight into presentation. I will try to finish everything at 1 o'clock because I know that you guys are busy, but I will stay as long as possible, okay, for question and answer. So with that, before I even do any presentation, I just want to read the disclaimer, okay? Because this webinar is about your personal finance. All right, so I just want to make something clear. I am not your financial advisor. All right, the content I share today is for educational purpose only. These are the lessons from my own journey and from years of helping others. Your situation is unique. So always do your research and consult a professional as needed. Do we all agree with that? Yes. Put yes in the chat, please. All right, excellent. Excellent, thank you. All right, so I would like to start this presentation with my humble beginning, okay? So a lot of you might already know that I grew up in rural Vietnam in a house without running water or electricity. When I come to United States, I had exactly $300 in my pocket. And the reason I share that with you is to tell you the kind of extreme poverty that I came from, a lack of resources. And what have changed my life were education and entrepreneurship. So step by step, I built skill, confidence, and business. I shared it because I want you to know that financial freedom isn't about perfection. Okay, it's about progress. And if I can build a life from those beginnings, you can build your path too. Do you agree? Yes. Put yes in the chat. All right. So here is a quick 30-second recap about my journey. After I arrived to the United States and worked really, real hard, I was able to become a banker, got into the banking industry, and then go to school to get my executive MBA at UT Arlington. So if anybody go to UT Arlington, put in chat, let me know. And then guess what? In 2008, there was a financial crisis. So I got laid up from the bank that I used to work for. I also have $100,000 student loan. And being an immigrant, a woman, a minority with very little connection, whatever challenge I encounter, I can relate to you all. And then, so I want to share this because I don't want you to feel bad for myself, okay? Because I do have a good ending. I share this because if you have ever been hungry, if you have ever been like there's no way out, if you have ever feel like you stuck, if you ever felt like you don't know if your life will ever get better, I am here to promise you it will get better if you do what needs to be done, okay? So let's go for another slide about my before and my now, just so you understand where I have been and where I used to be at. And if you can relate to any of that, you can put in the chat, like me too, or I'm in the same situation, if you're willing to share. So like I said, when I arrived to US, I had $300, okay? And now fast forward 2 decades later, we are a millionaire household. When I got laid off, I got $100,000 in debt. Does anybody have student loan right now? Yes, put yes in the chat. And now we are debt free. We have achieved financial freedom. Oh, by the way, let's talk about credit. When I arrived to the United States, I got absolutely no credit. I couldn't even get a phone. So now my FICO score is in the 800s. So anybody want to work on credit? Put it in the chat. Say credit. And of course, always busy working. I have no money or no time to travel. Now, fast forward 20 plus years, I've been to 30 countries. And in the past, I stuck in a job that I hated to pay bill. And now I have a rewarding career and I make deep impact with TCC student and also the business owner around the world. Okay, so I want to share with you all the horrible mistake I make. And when I read it, if you did the same thing, you can put it in the chat. And what I want to do is I want you to come out of shame, okay? Because we all make mistakes, okay? I sure make many, many, many mistakes, okay? As a matter of fact, I didn't start investing until I was in my 30s. I know. I mean, you probably wonder, like, how can an MBA graduate with a banking background didn't invest until in my 30s? It is because of my limited mindset. We will talk about that. I took over $100,000 in student loan debt. I sure did. It took me many, many years to pay it off. And I had many, many credit cards, okay? A mountain of credit card debt. All right. And for the longer time, even with an MBA and a background in banking, I didn't know what to invest or where to start. And I'm like, I, with all the resource and all connection, I had that challenge. I would only imagine how challenging it is for people without a finance, background or education. And then lastly, I hold on to a limiting mindset. Okay, that because I come from poverty, so I could never get better, and I'm still working on my mindset right now, just so you all know. Okay, so that is all the mistake I make. So all right, I saw a lot of people like put in the chat, so I really love the engagement, you all. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Anyway, so I'm sharing all of this just so that you understand where I used to be, all the horror mistake I make. And I'm here to tell you, even you make mistake, okay? You can still come out ahead. So fast forward decades later, I am three-time winner of American SBTC Award. I also win the TCC Chancellor Excellence Award. I will feature in TV, radio. I will judge for the Forward Business Plan competition. And what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to brag about myself. I say I make all the horrible mistakes and I can still come out ahead. And same with you. You need to believe it, okay? But what my proud moment is actually not all the accolade that I was telling you. My proud role is actually I am married to my husband, Brian, for almost 20 years, and I am mother of two boys, and I was able to have the lifestyle to my own term. I like cooking, I like travel, I like yoga, hiking, and I share with you is when people talk about financial independence, they think about like, oh, the $1 million I have in my bank account, oh, all the shiny, expensive stuff I can buy. But I'm here to tell you, you had to go deeper than that. Financial independence isn't just about money, okay? Repeat in the chat. Financial independence isn't just about money. It is about creating a life filled with what really matters most to you, okay? So if you hear me, if you agree, put in the chat, yes or no. All right. So and by the way, if you have any question, put it in the chat. And Key One, our student service director, he will monitor it. And Key One, can you pause me? If you see a question that I need to pause and address, please. So you probably wonder like, okay, I know already Professor Trent, I know you have difficult background, but what have you been doing to be qualified to be in front of us teaching about this very important subject? So I just want to share a little bit about my background aspect with you. Okay, so like I said, I'm a past banker. I worked for 3 banks in my life, and the last one was the largest bank in the world, JP Morgan Chase Bank. I had won multiple awards. I have advised over 350 businesses, and I have funded $27 million loan. And here's all the professional license and certification. So the first one is I'm really proud. It's called Series 6 and 63. So the people who get that licensing, they are qualified to be a financial advisor. I also got Texas Life and Health Insurance license. I also get my California real estate license. On top of that, I also get my H&R Block Tax Professional license. So I can talk with you on your personal tax return or your business tax return. And then on top of that, I got a bunch of all the certification. Again, this is not to brag about me. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of money, a lot of time. But because I value education and I want you to feel comfortable that I'm qualified to talk about all that topic. All right. So first thing first, we will not talk about money, okay? First thing first, we will not talk about money at all right? We will talk about mindset. And And then I want to ask you a question, okay? Have you ever wondered why some people succeed and others stay stuck for many years? Put in the chat, yes or no. So I'm here to tell you it's not necessarily fate. It's the way that people think, okay? So your brain has a lot to do with what you become than you imagine it, okay? So think about your brain like a muscle that you can grow or shrink. So I want to give you a story. So everyone know about Thomas Edison, right? So he's the one who invented the light bulb. But do you know it took him 10,000 experiments? Yes, it's not a typo. 10,000 experiments to get it right. So here is famous quote. I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So the reason why I want you to really let it sink in, because I want you to work on your growth mindset. And it can be like, you know what? It can be like, I would like to work on my finance. I would like to be disciplined. I would like to invest my money now so I can become wealthy later. But if you are stuck on your fake mindset with what I did for many years until my 30, is something like this. I don't have money to invest. I will never become wealthy. Another skill that I hear all the time, which is really sad, is my parents were bad with money, so am I. I will never be able to buy my house or travel or whatever that I want to do. So have you seen that in your own life or other people's life? Yes. Put yes in the message. All right. All right. So after you already have an honest conversation with yourself about your mindset is where and at. Okay. You want to address your money mindset. All right. So what is a money mindset? Um, so and I work with people with their money all the time, either a student who barely had anything or even multi-millionaire. And it's amazing how that I see how the negative mindset is really, really affect people. So here's the negative mindset. And this is the commentary I see. The first one is my family have always been poor. So most likely I'll be poor too. Okay. I will all hate debt. I just can't seem to pay it off. And that's how I failed for years with my over $100,000 student loan. I don't deserve to live a wealthy and prosperous life. And now, no matter how hard I try, I will never have the money to pay my bill. Okay, so I see that a lot with people that I advise and coach. But you need to sit down, okay, or maybe go somewhere else in the quiet, and you need to confront yourself. You had to be able to be honest and have a conversation with yourself and say, this is my mindset for all my life. This is what I believe. I need you to change your mind. Are you listening to me? I need you to change mind and say, this mindset is not helping me. This mindset is not serving me. This mindset is not good for my future. So, and then I need you to switch that mindset into the positive money mindset. So the first thing I need you to do is I need you to take responsibility. Okay. So don't blame it on your parent. Don't blame it on fate. Don't blame it on the economy. You had to be able to say that I am responsible for my own financial destiny. Okay, I am choosing to be financial free. So put in the chat if you agree that you have to be responsible for your financial destiny. Okay, I am worthy of having wealth and prosperity. I have more money coming in than what is going out. And by the way, when you start making that decision, when you start to decide that you want to change your mindset, I promise you the magic will start to happen. And sometimes you don't believe it. Then you have to fake it until you make it. As a matter of fact, you can take a screenshot of this. And then every morning when you wake up, you look at it and you repeat after yourself until you believe it. Okay? All right. Next one. After you already willing to change your mindset, the next thing that I need you to do is spend some time in crafting your personal vision. Okay? And I need you again to go to some quiet place. I need you to have an honest conversation with yourself, okay? Not with your mom, not with your husband, not with your children. I need you to look in the mirror. I need you to have an honest conversation with yourself about what kind of person you want to be, okay? And then I need you to sit down, and then the way you do it is actually very simple. I already throw in a screenshot. First, you want to write out all your life experiences. Maybe it's about your family, your work, your education, your successes. I also want you to write down about your failures. Why is that? I actually learned more about my failure than my successes. But you have to be honest about that, okay? Then I want you to define your passion and calling, like who you are, what God put you in earth for, what your ability, what your personality. And then after you already define all that, I want you to list at least 5 core life value, okay? And then I want you to identify what motivates you, okay? Write all that out. And then after you have all of that, then you make it 50 words or less. And then I want you to print it out or write it down and then put it in front of your mirror. I wanted you to read it and I want you to live it every single day. Okay? All right. Will you please do that for me? Will you willing to go through that exercise? Yes, put yes. And like I said, we're not studying about money until we get through this exercise. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, so to show you what a personal vision look like or what is core value, I want to share with you my vision. Okay, so I think that my vision is very normal. It's like pretty much every woman who married with a vision. I want to have a great marriage with my husband. Of course, I want to achieve financial freedom. I want to travel the world with my children. I want to raise my children to be happy and healthy. And of course, now that I'm in my 40s, I want to be active and healthy. And I'm Vietnamese American, so I want to reconnect with my homeland, come back to visit every 2 years. And on the right hand side, here's my integrity. I'm sorry, my core values. The first one is integrity. Okay, do the right thing. Number 2 is empowerment. I want to uplift other growth. I want to embrace resilience, learning, curiosity, family and community, and collaboration. And yes, I print it out, I put it in my fridge, I put it in my makeup mirror, I put it everywhere so I can read it and remind me every day. Okay, so sometimes you do this and it feels like still not enough. And why is that? Because what I show you is the test. It's kind of boring, right? So another exercise that for the visual learner, to you to get really excited, is called dream casting. Have you ever heard about dream casting? It yes, put yes in the chat. It no, put no. So what is dream casting? Dream casting is the process of getting all your dream down on paper, okay? So that you know what you want to accomplish. So the first thing is you had to remove anything that hold back. So we are talking about that with your mindset, right? You had to adopt a growth mindset. You had to have positive money mindset. And then you write out your dream. And if there are no obstacle, okay? You list all the skills not to achieve your dream, like, oh, you know, it's too expensive, I cannot afford it, or I'm so busy right now. And then after you already write out all your dream, then you find picture to inspire you. Okay, and that's where you do dream casting and you build your vision board. Okay, and that works really well with the visual learner. So a vision board is a collection of picture and image that you can glance at regularly to inspire you to make your dream a reality. Okay, so you can make it like a picture on your screensaver or maybe on your phone, or you can make it, on, like I said, on your refrigerator. So I would like to share with you my dream casting. Okay, here is my dream casting. And like I said, I did go and collect all the pictures that inspire me. And earlier we were talking about great merit, right? So on the left-hand side, you see great merit, right? We are talking about financial independence, right? So in the middle, like there is an image about how to retire at 50. And of course, I was talking about I wish my children to grow up, be healthy and happy. And then on the bottom, I don't know, you can see in the middle, you see myself with a beautiful lady, right? So that is my mother. She lives in Vietnam right there, right now. So my wish is to come back to Vietnam every other year to visit her because she's in her 60s and we don't know how much more time we have together, hopefully for a long time. I do want to travel the world on the bottom right-hand side, and I want to earn my Doctor of Business Administration one day. So that is an example of a dream casting. Okay. And to answer Jasmine's question, it's like a vision board. Yes. Okay. So are we clear on this? Any questions so far? Yes, put yes. All right, so I want to pause right there. Now that we address the mindset. Okay, I want to pause right there and go and take a look at what's going on in our great country of United States of America. I want you to look at the reality. Okay, so and right now, let us say that it's not good. In 2025, many Americans struggle with debt, rising cost, and uncertainty. As a matter of fact, I look up this study. Okay, so this study is done by the Dave Ramsey company, and he sent out a survey every month to see what's going on with the U.S. economy. So this is the result. Nearly 9 out of 10 U.S. adults said that high school did not leave them fully prepared for handling money. Do you agree? If you say yes, you say no, high school is great. I will be able to, to get all the education I need so that I handle my money. All right. So I see yes, 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 yes. All right. So the next one. 1 in 3 U.S. adults said after high school, they often felt stressed because of money. Okay. Do you agree? Yes or no? 50% of Americans say finance have negative impact on their mental health. 50. Okay, so in this room we have about 119 people attend the session. So I would say about 60 of you guys have stress about your personal finance. Do you agree? Okay, so the reason I share with you, because I don't want you to feel, oh my God, now it's all doom and gloom. Okay, there's no way around that. The reason I share it, because I want to understand that this is where our country is at. This is how people are feeling. Okay, and you need to rise above. You need to adopt a positive money mindset so that you can get out of that. And I can you walk away with one slide. This is the slide I want you to walk away with, and it's called the Dave Ramsey baby step. Okay, and again, you don't have to take screenshot. Like I said, I will email you my PowerPoint presentation, and this is called baby step. And why is it called baby step? Because we don't want you to be overwhelmed. Okay, but this will be the roadmap that I promise you. One slide. Okay, so later when you have the slide, you can take a picture, you can save it somewhere. So the step number 1 is you must have $1,000 in an emergency fund, untouched. Okay. So anybody in the step, and then step number 2, when you already have an emergency fund, he wants you to pay up your debt using the debt snowball. Okay. And then after you already pay up your debt, the bad one, by the way, if you have a big debt like the mortgage, in my situation, a student loan, then you can pay, your monthly amount. Number 3, you must have 3 to 6 months of expenses in a saving. Okay, so after you are finished at step 3, you want to go to step 4. You want to invest 15% of your earning. You hear me? 15% of your earning into a tax favored account. And then after you already did that, if you have children, I know a lot of you guys in this room, a student, so you but already think about that hard yet. But we also have some people with children. You want to fund your student college for your children, and then after that, you want to pay up your loan, your home early, and then lastly, you want to build wealth and give a bunch away. So if you do not mind, I would like to ask you and put in chat, which step are you at? Okay. So put in chat like I'm at step 1, or I'm at step 2, I'm at step 3. And like I said, this is a safe place. I already share all the horrible mistakes I make in the past. So if you feel like, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, again, like I said, there's no shame. All right, so we see a lot step 1 and step 2. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. So next, let's talk about budget. I got a lot of requests for budget. And to me, when people think about budget, I feel like it triggers some negative emotion to people. Do you agree? And I did want to reframe your mindset. Okay, I want you to think that budgeting is not about restriction. Budgeting is about freedom. And why is that? When you know where your money is going, you are in control. Do you have any idea how many people that I work with that make million and million and million of dollars? Okay. And they come to me and their bank account is empty. And they told me, Kathy, I know I make money. I just don't know where the money go. Can you believe that? So when you know where your money is going, you are in control. Okay. Your numbers amount you need to cover your basic and the amount you want for your goal. So when you know that, you can build your financial freedom with clarity and confidence. Do you agree with that? It yes, say yes. It no, say no. And also, my question is, do you have a budget yet? It no, again, I am here to empower you. So and people come to me with this all the time. Well, I know I need to work on my budget, but I don't know how much I can spend on this and that. And I'm like, okay, I have one slide for you. And it's called the 50-30-20 budget rule. Okay, so 50% of your income should go to your needs. So what are they? They are the rent, the mortgage. I mean, we must have a roof over our head, right? It go to your food. So we ought to feed ourselves, right? It must go to utility, transportation, and also essential clothing. Remember, I say essential clothing, okay? I'm not talking about Louis Vuitton. I'm not talking about a pair of Hermes. I'm not talking about, another pair of Chanel eyeglasses, okay? But essential clothing. All right. So after you cover that 50%, then you want to put 20% into your future. So earlier we talked about you might have emergency fund, you might have a saving of 3 months of living expenses, and then you also want to start investing into your future. And then of course you want to pay up your debt. And then after you cover that, then let's talk about the rest with 30%. So that will cover your want. So what one are we talking about? Well, we talk about holiday. We all want to go vacation, right? We talk about dining out. We talk about entertainment. We talk about hobby. So I'm gonna pause right here and ask you, does this 50-30-20% budget rule make sense to you? It yes, put yes, or give me a heart, or give me a clap, just to make sure that we are on the same page. All right, excellent. All right, and then the next thing is a little bit higher level. It's called "Do you know your number?" So I, when I coaching with my student and my client, I go through this with them, and I apologize. Maybe you probably have a hard time seeing it, but if they are able to fill this out, then I know that they're in good shape. So this is called one hand on the left hand side is called your asset. Okay, so they have to list all the money they have either in checking, saving, in retirement, and then underneath they had to put all the liability, either credit card, loan, mortgage. So that give me an idea where they at, what is their net worth. Okay, so that is on the left hand side. On the right hand side, then I want to understand their income, how much income they make, and then what is their expenses. And then from there, we'll decide, do they even make any money, okay, or they are in the red. And if you haven't done the exercise, I encourage you to sit down and write it down, okay? I will email it to you later on for all the people who attended so you can do this exercise. So I'm asking you, will you do this? Yes or no? All right, excellent. All right, so now we are done with budget. And by the way, I'm still monitoring the chat. And if you have any question, I think that we're in good time. We have 50 slides and we are slide 30. So look like we're doing great. So if you want to have any question, you can put in the chat and I can pause and answer some of the question, okay? All right, so next let's talk about the art of stretching your dollars. Here is some of the tip that I gave my student, and my family had been following it for years and years and years. So the first thing is the moment you want something, please do me a favor, write down. Please look up online to see if you can get any coupon, any cashback, any discount, or maybe wait until it's on sale. Like we write out all the big purchase we need to make, and we shop during Black Friday. Okay, so that would, number one, it will skip your impulse buys, but it's also you probably can save anywhere 30 to 40% of what you want. All right. So that's the first thing. You want to shop smarter, not harder. And then I am a believer in packing your own meal. Okay. I cook pretty much every single week. And what we do is we prep for all the lunches for the adult, which is the parents, and then my children, they only 11 and 13, but they already know how to cook, so they cook their own lunches. And I'm a big believer in that because number one, when you meal prep, it's much cheaper than go out to eat. Don't you agree? It's yes, but yes, but also it's much healthier. But when I go out to eat, I don't know what people put in the food. But when I cooking, I know exactly the ingredient I put in the food. And we do go out to eat, okay? Just so you know. But we only do it like a couple times a week, you know. In the past, only once a week, and we use it like a treat, not like a habit. So the next thing is for travel. When you can, you know, you can use public transportation. I did that, save a bunch of money, or maybe you carpool, you ride share, and then that was some tip that can really help slash your expenses. Okay. Um, Also, a lot of people talking about the credit. Um, what I need you to do is if you are in debt like I did, you know, I used to have up to like 10 credit cards. So what I want you to do is, you know, start smart, pay out one debt and celebrate that win. All right. And make credit work for you. And then we will have a couple of slides about credit. Okay. Also, there is a lot of free event that you can do. And I will tell you, when I first arrived to America, I barely have any money. So what I do, I go to the library, I read book, I go to coffee shop, and then I go for a walk at the park, I go for a hike. Those stuff, it doesn't cost any money. Okay, so you have to be creative about him to have fun, and then also reduce your expenses. Also, you are very fortunate because right now you can have all the technology and app to help you to control your money, and most of them are free. Like if you are younger and you want you know, an app to track your budget, there's a lot of app that, you know, that out there for free. If you want to automate your bill so you never make a late payment again, there's something called automated withdrawal. So there are all kind of technology, you know, that available for free. So that is another way to stretch your dollars. Okay. So the next slide I want to talk about is, in a lot of us as students. So let me guess, you have a lot of debt, right? um, I Okay, so John Perriner is in the room and he's my coworker and he recommend Rocket Money. So John, Rocket Money to manage your finance, right? All right, I got to check it out. I don't have it, but I got to check it out. And if you anybody have any recommendation of software or free app to manage your money, put in the chat. We want to learn from everybody, okay? So let's talk about debt because, like I said, I used to have $100,000 of student loan debt. I see a lot of requests is I really need to work on my debt. So if you used to be in a hole like I did, it feels like you will never be able to break free. You will never get out of that. What I need you to do is take a deep breath, okay? We will get there. So here is all the steps of how you manage your debt. First, you want to pay at least the minimum for all the debt and stay current, okay? So I'm gonna stress one more time. You never want to make a late payment. Never, ever, ever want to make a late payment. You at least pay the minimum just to stay current, okay? And then for all your debt, there are two methods to do, either avalanche method or snowball method. And don't worry, we have a slide for that. And then for student loan, there is the income-driven repayment. We will not talk about that today, but look it up. There, and if you have more money, you consider extra payment. And then remember, every dollar that you pay up your debt, it reduces your stress and you gain closer to the freedom. Okay, so Erica shared in the chat that she paid her car in full every month. So proud of you, Erica. All right. So earlier we talked about the two-step payment method, okay? And I know that John and my coworker, Dr. Prince, in the room, and they probably like, you know, like raise their eyebrow about the snowball method. But It actually, this is actually the one that Dave Ramsey recommended. So this is the way it works, okay? The first one is called Snowball. So you want to focus on minimum payment on the step monthly, at least meet your minimum payment, okay? And then you want to make extra payment on the smallest loan, okay? And when you pay up that smaller loan, then you move on to the higher loan debt. And the reason for that, because every time we check off something off our list, it gives us the psychology that, you know what, it's done, it's over with, and then it builds the momentum. So this method, it makes no sense in math, but it makes total sense in human psychology, okay? And then the next method is called avalanche. And what method is, I get that the accounting people in this room is using that method. So John and Julie, which method do you do? Do you do snowball or do you no avalanche? And for the avalanche, you want to make minimum payment in each debt monthly, okay? And then you want to tackle the high interest rate first. So I give you an example. I used to have $100,000 debt, right? So I have 8 credit cards, and I think they rank anywhere from 12% to 25%. And then I have a few student loan, and I have a car loan, and the car loan is only like 2%, but student loan like anywhere from 6 to 7%. So when I use the avalanche method, I tackle the debt with the high interest rate loan first. All right. So I don't care which one you do. Okay. Whatever work for you. All right. So I got a lot of requests about how do I build credit score. And this one really hit home to me because like I told you, when I first came to the United States, I didn't have any credit. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even qualified for a cell phone. So here is step 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it's very simple. The first thing is you want to pay your bill on time. Every single time. Repeat after me. Put it on the chat. Pay your bill on time. If you cannot make full payment, at least pay the minimum. Okay, that is the most important thing. So put in the chat. Pay your bill on time. Repeat after me. Pay your bill on time. Never make a late payment. Even minimum payment. And then after you already address that, you want to keep your credit use less than 30% of your limit. And what does that mean? So for example, I will use Professor John Penner, for example. Let's say that he have a credit card and his credit limit is $10,000. John, did you hear me? So does he want to spend up to $10,000 in that credit card? Okay, I'm asking you a question, so engage with me. Yes or no? Okay, so Lakeisha already said no. Why? Why not? The credit limit is 10,000. Why don't we just go and spend it all, right? So another secret of building credit is you want to keep your credit usage 30% of your limit. Okay, so Terrell and Edda already said $3,000. In our family, we keep it about 15%. Okay, and then another one is really help out with student is what you want to do. You don't want to close down old account. Okay, so the older your account, the more credit is the longer history it have. So it have with credit history. And so please don't do open a credit card, use it for a year and close it down. I mean, unless your credit is really good, keep the old account if possible. Okay, all right. So are we all clear on that? Yes. All right. I'm gonna pause right here and want to make sure that you engage with me. If you agree, you can give me a thumbs up. You can give me a heart, you know. And if you want to have a question, you can raise your hand and I address you. We are in really good time, everybody. All right. So after we are pay up our debt, okay, then let's start investing, okay. And I want so when the moment we talk about the word investing, it sounds very intimidating. Do you agree? Yes, put yes. So I want you to start small. I want you to start with $25 or $50 per month. Can you do that? Yes, put yes. I'm not asking you that, oh, you had to put $20,000 per year. You had to go out and buy rental real estate. You had to buy gold. No. Okay, that would scare anybody. Start with $25 to $50 per month. Okay. If you already have a job, there is all kind of tax favor account like 401k, and then we have TCC employee here. So we have 403b and 457. We will not talk about that because we have 1 hour, but I'm happy to do another one on that one. And then if you if your company does not offer that, then you can always open a Roth IRA account, okay? And then people is like, well, I want to invest. I have money. I don't know where to put it in, okay? And notice I don't put any fund because I'm not here to sell you anything. So what I would tell you is that Google like low cost index fund or ETF. So one good would be S&P 500. Another one is the total market. And then another thing you have to do and do it right now is you want to automate your contribution. Okay, so would mean that you can tell your HR that send $50 of my paycheck to this retirement account. So you don't even think about that. Okay, do that. And then you can forget about it. And it's in good play, it withdraw every month. And then there you go. Before you know it, you have a very nice, sizable retirement. All right, so I don't want you to think that there's only one way to save for retirement, okay? Like I said earlier, at TCC, we have 403B, 457. If you have a job, you have 401k. So put in the chat what you have. Either if you have 401k, put 401k. If you have 403B, put 403B. What if you got nothing? Then you can always go and open a Roth IRA, okay? You don't need to have to go through an employer to do that. Or you can open a traditional IRA, okay? But here's the thing. Whatever you do, I want you to match the employer money. So some company, they give like 1%, 2%, or 3% to match with your with your contribution. So whatever you contribute, you at least want to match that. All right. Okay, so I see a lot of people say no 10, but I have 7. So Irene, I appreciate you sharing. But then also you don't have to go with the employer. They don't have anything. Okay, most small business, they don't have a retirement plan. You can always go out and open a retirement account with an investment firm, and then automatic withdraw your paycheck to go there. Did you hear me? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And then I know that I have some of my Vietnamese American community in this room, and they are not comfortable with stock and mutual fund and those kind of products. So if that's the case, another way you can do is you can buy real estate. I know a lot of my people, they buy rental property. Okay, that is a great way to save for investment. Also, some people, I mean, I don't recommend it, but a lot of people, they also like to buy precious metal like gold. Or they start a business and build a business that they can sell one day. So what I'm trying to say, there are no one path for wealth. There are many different paths, okay? And I don't want you to limit your mindset to, Miss Trin tell me I had to go and open a retirement account, so I had to do that. There's all the paths to wealth. And here is a slide for all the retirement account. I will put in the slide. You can go and check it out, okay? And I actually see somebody put in the chat, so let me go and read it. All right, so I see people put in the chat that they use a variety of Cameron asked, how do I open a Roth IRA? So Cameron, I assume that your employer do not give you a employer sponsor retirement plan, right? Then I see a lot of chats. I say there's a lot of financial firm out there. You can open an account with them, like Acorn, Fidelity, Robinhood. So yes, absolutely yes. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything. I have a couple accounts with different organizations. I used to have one with Scottrade. My current investment is outside of Tarrant County College, is with Vanguard. But then I know that whatever firm that you feel good with, if you have good relationship, go with that one. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pause here, and I will have a exercise for you. Do you know your financial independent number? If yes, put yes, and put no, put no. Okay, no shame. So what is that? Financial independent number is the amount of money that you need to live life on your term. Okay, and that's why it's not a one size fit all. It's personal to you. But you had to know your number because it gives you a target, it gives you a goal, it gives you a milestone to aim for, and the reason to stay focused. All right, so I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say that I spend $40,000 per year, right? So what you want to do, you take $40,000 to sustain my lifestyle, and you time it by 25. And that's what we have. We have $1 million. So that is my financial independent number. But what if I'm gonna pick someone. What is key one? He spent, and key one, I'm gonna take your example. His uh his spend is $100,000 per year. Okay, are you listening? Let's say key one spend $100,000 per year. So what is key one financial independent number? Put it in the chat. See if you've been following. See if you know how to do math. What if key one? Okay, so Anthony put $2.5 million. Great job, Anthony. Thank you for participating. That's why I say it's different with everybody, depend on your spending. And here is another slide that whatever you do, I encourage you to start as early as possible. Okay, here is a scenario of two-person, and they would put the same money, okay, which is $6,000 per year, with only $500 per month, not that much. The first one started when she's 25, okay? The second one started when she's 30, and they put pretty much around the same money. But the first one who started 5 years early, only 5 years early, she ended up with almost $1.5 million. Are you with me so far? The other one start 5 years later, and she ended up with only $1 million. So that will tell you that I'm really happy that you in my webinar, because I didn't know that. I had no idea. Like I said, I have an MBA. I have background in banking. I didn't know that. So I didn't start until my 30s. Okay. And when you're in my workshop, you know that you are still young, you still student. So to start right now. Okay. Start with $25 per month, $50 per month. Just start. So here is some quick guide to kickstart your financial freedom, okay? And the first one is, number one, I want you to track every dollar you spend. And then I want you to put at least $25 to $50 in an emergency fund account. I want you to go check your credit score, okay? Go to Credit Karma or Experian. I want you to pay down on debt. And I want you to invest your first $20 in either a Roth IRA or a 401k or 403b. Okay. And here is some resources about all the great free resources out there. Pretty much everything is free, you know, and I recommend everything. It's have book, it have podcasts, have YouTube. So whatever you want to read, there's some book for you to read. You want to listen, there's some great podcast for you to listen, and or you want to watch a video, there's also video for you. So go out there and spend some time to educate yourself. All right, so here is the last one. We coming to an end, and we still have about 5 minutes left for question and answer. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out today and attend this event. I want to thank to the team at Tarrant County College, especially the student service, and also my dean, Dr. Wanda Moore, for your support. So for the student summit, that will be Kiwan, Dr. Cottrell, and then Wanda. And then I want to show my gratitude to Radio Saigon Dallas 1160 AM and also the Forward Business Press for broadcasting the information about event. Like I said, we have 240 people signed up. In this room, we have over 100 people who showed up, and that would not be possible with all that awareness. So don't go away, yes. So Wanda, would you please put the form for TCC student? So if you are TCC student, you will get a SWOT, okay? So Wanda to put a form in the link. And what that form does is you have to fill out the form to show your attendance, and she will mail you a SWOT, okay? Also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you like about 30 seconds to do that. But the next form I want to do is I actually have my own form, and what it is an evaluation form. And you can either take a picture, or you can up the QR code, or you can put the link, and I will put the link in the chat. And in the form, it's only ask you 5 questions, but it helped me understand is, are you happy and satisfied with the event? And if you do, what do you want me to present in the future? There is a variety of topic that I can present, but I want you to tell me which one that you want me to present. So spend about 30 seconds on that, okay? And just so you know that it's totally anonymous. So you can, if you don't like this event, it will not hurt my feeling. I will put in your input so that it will help me. And then the next slide will be, if you love the session, I would love for you to help me out by give us, either a review, or you can put the takeaway on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, okay, and tag me. So that is my that the link is all my social media. I'm on all social media platforms. So the first one I will put is my Facebook page, okay, and then the second one I will put is my Instagram page. So that bear with me. So I would love, to hear your takeaway and tag me on my social media. And then for those who do not have Facebook, Instagram, I also have LinkedIn. So, and the third one is my LinkedIn. All right, so I will stay as long as possible for any question, okay? It is 12:57 p.m. And if you need to go back to work, it's already 1 o'clock, you're welcome to go. But if you have a question, put it in the chat, and I will, answer anything you want. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing right now.
Kathy, there was, first off, great presentation. We really appreciate that. Just another round of applause for her. And I did have a question that I think that should get answered. Someone was curious to know, what is biohacking?
Oh,
You said when you called financial aid, they're the ones that told you.
okay, so biohacking, and it actually had nothing to do with personal finance, but oh well. So, okay, what is biohacking? Have you ever heard about something called biological age and also real age, chronological age? No? Okay, so I'm answer a question, another question. So, okay, so biohacking is the practice of making small intentional change to your lifestyle, environment, and biology to improve health, performance, and well-being. So I'll give you an example. My real age, okay, is 45 years old, okay? But I did a test to measure my body age. So there's your age from your birthday, right? And my body age is 30 years old. So I'm about 15 younger than my real age. And the reason for that, because I've been working really hard about my health, because I realized that, you know what, you can work on your finance. If your body is broken, if you are sick, if you have all kind of disease, then all that money is for nothing. So my advice to you all is actually the best investment is for your own wellness. Does that answer your question? And Shala also put in her answer in there. Thank you, Shala. Any other question, Kiwan?
Yes, another one just popped in. It says, with current geopolitics, with tariffs, is it wise to invest right now and to buy stocks?
Oh, that's a great question. So let's see. So Susie um, had that question. So Susie, um, so first remember, I'm not your financial advisor, okay? So this is just from my own personal experience. So whatever decision you make, you have to consult with the professional, okay? I So what I before you even invest, what I want you to sit down and I need you to, number one, be educated about whatever you invest in, and number two, I need you to be comfortable with whatever you are investing. Susie, did you hear that? For example, I work with a lot of Vietnamese American people, and they actually do not want to touch stock or mutual fund or bond at all because they don't understand it. So what do? They put their money in real estate. They buy rental home, okay, or they buy apartment complex, or they buy office building, they rent it out. And the reason I answered that question is, if you feel like number one, you don't understand what's going on, and number two, it gives you a lot of stress. I want you to feel comfortable whatever your decision, okay? And I want you to educate yourself, because the thing about investment is there are no one path. Like I said, I work with a lot of people who never own a piece of stock, but they are multi millionaire because they explore all the options. It's so Susie. The reason I don't answer directly to that because, like I said, I'm not your financial advisor. But my advice to you is whatever you decide to put your money in, number one, you must understand it. You must be comfortable with how it works, and you must trust that it will work. Does it? And that go back to the mindset. Okay. Okay. So I see Courtney also have a question. So Kiwan, do you mind I read it?
Yes. Let me just stroll to Courtney's,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Genuine question. How do we address saving, debt, investing, etc., when many people are struggling to barely provide for their basic living expenses? When individuals are already working multiple jobs and barely able to pay their rent, how do we realistically build savings? If cost of living is continuously increasing but wages are not, isn't there a logical breaking point?
So Courtney, for the first thing, like I said, is work on your mindset. Okay, I mean, I already said that very there because if you have that mindset and you say, you know what, I will never get out of this. This is the end. I will always stuck in it. I can promise you that your mindset will be your reality. Okay, because when I told you already my story, when I came to the United States, I have $300. I can barely pay rent. Okay, and that time I go to sleep hungry. Just to tell you the kind of dire situation I used to be in. And the reason why I'm in right now is because I strongly and stubbornly believe that it will get better. And when I had that mindset, I start to find way. And then now it go back to the slide. Every in the PowerPoint slide, it have a very logical step. So to start with your mindset first, okay?
All right. I see another one. Let me go back to it. So this comment says, I completely messed up my finances in my early 20s. That being said, I don't even know who all I am in debt to and have no idea how much I owe. How do I find that out? Because they ignored debt in the past and it's overwhelming for them, and they don't know where to start to get that information.
Okay. That's a great question, by the way. And that is Madison. So, Madison, number one, thank you for a great question. Madison, I have no doubt that you in a better place already because number one, you take responsibility. Okay. A lot of people, you said it in the chat, you say, I messed up my finance. So when you said I, you take responsibility that you make a mistake, but it's also give me that you already read the breakthrough that you take responsibility so that you can turn it around because only you can change your financial future. Are you listening to me? Okay. So now, like I said, this is a safety place. You can tell me whatever mistake that you go through because whatever mistake you have made, Professor Trin have made it all. Like I already shared. Um, so first thing is I really appreciate your honesty, and taking responsibility. And the second thing you talk about how do I find out how much I own. There is a website, and I didn't get the chance to mention it in the presentation because again I only have 1 hour. But there's a website called annualcreditreport.com. Okay, it is the only website I recommend for people to go in there and get their free credit report. Okay, so I recommend that after you already adopt your mindset. So first, you had to adopt a positive money mindset. You had to write out your personal vision. You had to write out your goal. You had to do vision board. You had to do all of that. And after you do all that and you are in a better mindset, okay? And the next thing, the technical thing to do is go to annualcreditreport.com and run your credit report. In that credit report, it will list all the account that you own, the balance, have you been late, and from there you have a good report of where you at and where do you have to go from there. Does that answer your question? Iwan, do we have any other question?
I don't see any other ones. I know we have a verification form question on that form. So if you fill out the feedback form, it'll say if you need a verification form on there with question number 10. So if you do need that verification form, just hit yes and we will get that over to you. But I think one just came in. How can we get our teenagers involved in investing? Can they buy stock books or can they buy stocks with parental supervision?
Oh my God, I love this question. So you probably have what, teenager children? So I have two children, okay? I will show you my picture. The first one is 11 years old, Patrick, and the second one is 13 years old. And in the summer, they stay home with me. So I have them to get on Kang Academy. Have you ever heard about Kang Academy? It yes, put yes, it no, put no. So what I'm doing is I am not going to send them out to buy any stock before I get the education out the way first. Okay, so they say had to understand why are we doing what we do, and that's why I told you in the beginning that I'm very passionate about education because education gives us the power. Anyway, Khan Academy is the one that I chose, and you don't have to go with that one, but that one is used by my school district. So they do have two courses about personal finance. Okay, and they are excellent and they are free. So I had them do that both the courses to get them in the mindset of why we have to do this. Why do we have to save money? Why do we have to invest? What does it do for our future? And I think the 13 years old is kind of like understand that now. The 11 years old, he's still young, so maybe we do it again next year, or maybe every year until it's sinking. And then I took the 13 years old to open a account for him. You can do that. It's called UGMA. So what it is the minor account that have been supervised by adult. And then at some point, I think I will, teach them about the benefit of investing, and we probably start small. So you definitely can do all that under the adult supervision. Does that answer your question? Oh, and Julie say that what is the course name? Let me look it up.
And I believe we had one more question for, or maybe a couple more.
The Khan Academy actually have two courses, just so you know, okay? So actually, let me share screen because and by the way, they don't pay me. I just love what they do. So I think that here's Khan Academy, right? And then if you click on explore, and what's really sad is buried somewhere. Let's see, life skill. Okay, so remember we talked about growth mindsets right here, but here's personal finance right here. And then here's another one, it's called financial literacy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste it in the chat, okay? And by the way, this is good for adult also, just so you know. I mean, I make my children take it, but it's also good for adult.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
We can probably take like two more. We have one that says, today I have had 300, today if I had $300, what is a great place to start to turn that into 3K? If they've
Mm.
had 300 extra dollars, what is a great place for them to start to turn that into 3K?
Okay. So, like I said earlier, I do not provide specific play like, go to the stock or go to this cryptocurrency because, but what I want, even a grad that I want you to go back to the basics. So I'm gonna share the screen because I got that question all the time. People are like, Kathy, I have $10,000. Where should I invest? I'm like, and my question is, I don't know. It depends. Have you done the baby step one? Do you have $1,000 in your emergency fund? Have you done step two? Have you paid off your debt? Have you had 3 to 6 months of expanding saving? And most people is like, no, I'm nowhere near that. Then you have to go back to the foundation and do the baby step first. And then the question here is, will we email the PowerPoint? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. And then I see one that says, how can I start to invest at the age of 60?
Oh, and Van, I know Van, so we are actually personal friend. So that is another 2 hour of presentation. But one, I will go back to the basic. Okay, so I just share the Dave Ramsey. I don't advise people to invest at all until they cover the basic. And I must say it one more time. You have to be able to crawl before you can run. Okay. So one, what you have to do, you go back to this and you have to ask yourself, have you developed a growth mindset yet? Do you have a positive money mindset? Do you have a personal vision? Do you have your goal? You have to work all that stuff first. And then after you did all that, then you have to go through the baby step. Do you have emergency fund? Do you have debt? You have to be able to protect yourself first before you can invest. Invest is, definitely a different level, but you will not be able to invest until you do all this first, the 1, 2, and 3. So
Awesome.
go ahead, Q1.
Okay, I'll do one more. So I see any tips on ways to shift to a growth mindset? That can be our last question.
And that is asked by Yvonne. Yvonne, that is such a great question. And I think I already said that in the slide, but I will do it again. Okay. So Yvonne, the growth mindset is not like something that you flip a switch and you turn from a limiting mindset to a growth mindset. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It's something that you have to work on it for the rest of your life. So if you here to hope with a quick fix, I'm here to tell you you're in the wrong place, okay? And I already have a slide on that. And what you had to do is, all right, so I'm going back to the slide. So here is another slide about your mindset. So Yvonne, what you want to do is you had to have an honest conversation with yourself. Okay, you want to go somewhere quiet, go to a coffee shop, go to a park, you want to sit down. I do that all the time, by the way. You have to have an honest conversation. You have to understand, like, where are you at right now? What is holding you back? Okay, and then after you write out everything that I asked you to do, and so you can decide, like, am I in a fit mindset? I'm in a growth mindset. And then you have to work on your money mindset. Okay. And if you have negative money mindset, I don't want you to feel ashamed. Okay. I want you to confront it. I want you to be kind, but I want you to be honest. Only when you're honest about, what's going on. And then also another thing is, I said already, you had to write everything down. When you write it down, you have something in black and white. You have something that you can refer back. You have something that you can go back in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, just so that that what kind of person you used to be. And then after you already confront your negative mindset, then you have to work on your personal vision statement. We already talk about that. Here's all the steps you have to do. Can it be done in 15 minutes? No. It took me hour and hour and hour, and I always go back and revise it. That's why I'm saying that the growth mindset is not something that we adopt, overnight. But if you committed to the change, if you tired with your life and you really want to go to the next level, that's what you had to do. It's like living a healthy lifestyle or being fit. You don't go out, work out, and you're done. Okay, you have to do it and keep doing and keep doing. And then, okay, so talk about personal vision, and then you have to come up with your vision and your core value. You need to do your vision board, and then you have to look at it every day, and you have to repeat every day until you believe it. So Yvonne said that now she understands. And like I said,
Yes.
people don't want the quick fix. Like, okay, I have $5,000. Where do I invest? And like, no.